This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station. The BFM Breakfast Grille. Top interviews you can't afford to miss. Presented by the CIMB Group.
Today we have with us on the Breakfast Grille Managing Director of LBS Bina Group Berhad, Dato Sri Lim Hock. Property developer LBS Bina is listed on the main board of the stock exchange with an 852.7 million ringgit market cap. Founded in the 1960s by Dato Lim Bok Sing, which is where the name LBS actually comes from, as a construction company, and he actually still remains as chairman. Now the company has a land bank of 1,800 acres worth a GDV of 18.3 billion. But in the times of tough when for property companies, how will they cope? So good morning, Dato Sri.
Good morning.
So your most recent deal, which actually made the papers today, and it was announced in Bursa yesterday, is in Johor, where you signed a joint venture development for a project with a GDV of 815 million. Could you tell me a little bit more about the project and actually your partner in the venture, which is YPJ Ventures?
Yeah, this project is located as the Tampoi. It's the township was well developed. There's only a small parcel of land is already matured for the condo apartments. So this project we target the medium income people, selling around from 150 to 600,000. Because 150 means we have 240 unit affordable home price at 150. So this is a good segment of good apartment to sell.
But who are you actually selling to when you do in Iskandar? Are you selling to the locals, or when you do your marketing, are you selling to the Singaporeans?
Because the maximum price is 600,000. Definitely we sell to local, because now the foreigner only can buy up to above 1 million.
So who's your partner in this venture, YPJ Ventures? And actually, the funny thing is, LBS does both. You go on your own for flagship projects, and you also go with partners. So tell me a bit more about your partner and why you chose this partner in particular.
No, the partners, they are the landowner. Yayasan Brajan Johor. They are the landowner. So we joint venture with them. In return, we give them the 10% of the GDV.
What other plans does LBS have for the likes of Iskandar? I mean, it's such a hot area right now.
We have one in the Johor Bahru. We signed up recently, the 5.5 acres in the next area in the Rasa Sayang, next EPF there.
Which is near the Causeway.
And the estimated GDV around 2.3 billion. Now it's still on the branding stage. And the one on the high end. So we decide to launch it by early next year.
So what is it now? Just the branding stage?
Branding stage.
So where are you targeting it?
The one definitely partly will go on the Singapore and China market, also Malaysian market, because we have two types of the apartments. One is priced above 1 million, some are priced below 1,500,000. Depending on the site, we have the service apartment, we had commercial, we had the condominium, that's it.
But there's so many other developers in Iskandar. You mentioned Singapore, you mentioned China. China in particular has a lot of developers in that area. So does that kind of competition make you a bit wary? Definitely
there will be the competition. The recent the purchase by the Greenland, and I think there are many of the developers who also go to the Johor. But I think the way I said this last time in my interview in Cameron Highlands, this developer had done their homework. Putting out so much money, definitely they know they will do the homework. And when I look at the Iskandar will be the area of growth. You know why? Iskandar have enough facility like the hospital, university, all these things. So we always compare the Iskandar with Shenzhen. This is comparison. Shenzhen in 1979, the population of 30,000, and today they have 14 million. The reason Shenzhen can grow because of Hong Kong and Taiwan. And look like the Iskandar. Today they have 1.6 million population, and they have the growth. They have the population growth to 3 million in 2025, and Singapore is next to Iskandar. Singapore have no room to grow, no place for development. So the only thing Singaporean will start to come to the Iskandar. So I look at this more or less the same, So with this, people moving in, this Greenland developer, they bought the land, they will promote Malaysia, definitely. Singapore promote Malaysia, free of charge. We're going to promote so the mainland Chinese, mainland Chinese, they come over to buy for homestay, some even buy for retirement. As a result, all the people start moving in, then Singaporean come move in, Indonesian moving in, then Korean and Japan. So when this type of thing grow, and then more and more people set up office in Malaysia, in Iskandar, factory, so people start to work. Malaysia, there will be migration of the Malaysian, the youngster who want to work in Johor. So from other state they come to Johor. So as a result, the Johor will grow. That's why we go in.
But do you think there's a fear, a very real fear of like oversupply in the area?
I don't think so, but it takes time.
When you say take time, how long do you think?
Several years slowly to grow. But because of because of these people move in, that's why I said just now, they set out the office here, they set out a factory here, and the factory here, and then the population will grow, and people working here, people start to buy house. So there's an effect there.
But don't you think that if the prices, and you do get a lot of these international people coming in, like you say, workers and such, is there a fear that they'll price the locals out of the market?
The price local, I think so. Government should do some one prima project for the medium cost housing for the our Malaysian who cannot afford. So definitely, as price they are selling now 1,000 over ringgit per square foot. But you compare it with the Hong Kong and Singapore market and China market in Shenzhen other area, we are cheap. Our prices are cheap.
But we don't earn as much as those in Hong Kong.
Much, but that's why the government, the Malaysian government or Johor government, will come up with a lot of affordable housing, medium cost housing. That is why the Tamboi project we have is targeting the Malaysian who cannot afford to buy these houses.
Okay, so we'll move on to the biggest development one of the biggest developments you have, which is the 5 billion GDV development located in Cameron Highlands. You have said before it'll contribute 30% of revenue for LBS by 2017, 26% of your overall GDV. So tell us more about why the focus on Cameron Highlands. I mean, what is the potential you see there?
Actually, I can say first thing, there is less competition. We can say that we are considered one of the biggest. We are the biggest developer in Cameron Highlands. We have been in Cameron Highlands as early as since 1998. We had completed when we first went in. During 1998 is the financial crisis. I think everybody know. I think the Cameron Highlands people also worried whether we can complete the project in 1998. Since we have completed 3 projects, is Carnation Park, Taman Royal Lily, and the last one we had completed the Brinjan Square. All these 3 projects fully taken up. So the 4th project we going is facing behind the hotel owned by the YTL. We have 59 acres of project called Taman Golden Hill. Then we have the project in the next to the Brinjan Square. Because of the 5 billion project, we renovated a new office. New office means that 5 billion means we hope that to complete the develop within 10 years. So that is why the market is there.
But who are you selling this property to? I mean, who are the people you're targeting?
3 type of person, 3 group. One is of course the Cameron people. Of course, second one is per person buy for holidays to stay, and the other one is investment. Because the speculation, I don't think so much. People buy to invest. Invest in what? because when they buy, they can come to stay, they can rent. Because during the weekend or holiday, the whole area is packed.
But that still banks on a lot of tourists coming into the area. But don't you think that with the current situation that it is, tourism in Malaysia is still a bit shaky?
No.
You don't. You have faith in that the
Yes.
tourist population
Yes.
will be steady. There was the landslide issue a worry when that happened?
Landslide issue happened in Cameron, also happened in other part of the country.
Yeah, but surely there must have been some concern about it when it happened.
Happened landslide on the road on the way up. I think definitely there's some landslide because of the thing when government take measure. As for development, we have not faced this sort of problem because the biggest challenge we have today that some of the clearing is illegal because we are the one we got approval, So when it come for the approval on the development plan, EIA, environment, they issue a very tough measure to us. A lot of costs will be thinking we had to widen the oxidation, the water retention pond. A lot of measures got to be done to us.
So are you saying that hopefully this never happens again, this incident?
For us, no problem. But for the road, definitely everywhere also happened. This is thing.
Well, today we have with us on the Breakfast Grille Managing Director of LBS Bina Group, Berhad, Dato Sri Lim Hock. When we come back, we'll talk about their ventures into East Malaysia and China.
Business for Malaysia. BFM 89.9.
With us on the Breakfast Grille today is the Managing Director of LBS Bina Group, Berhad, Dato Sri Lim Hock. So Dato Sri, as we were leaving, we talked about your developments in Cameron, in Johor. Let's talk a little bit about East Malaysia. That's another one of your focus areas. How are you finding the market there compared to Peninsular Malaysia?
Actually, LBS, besides doing the project in Klang Valley, two areas we are looking at. One is in Johor, the other one is in KK. So the KK, there is a market. We just have acquired a piece of land in KK, Likas, for 6.25 acres for the GDV or 450 million. At the market there is okay.
What's the color of that development? Medium, high end?
Medium high we can call. We are selling around 700 to 800 per square foot.
Who are you selling it to? Also foreigners or locals?
Local.
Locals. Definitely is there appetite for
local and foreigner. If the house selling, if the price of the condominium above 1 million, we will target the foreigner.
Yeah, definitely. That's you have very clear segregation for that.
Yes.
But when you go into these developments, is that the idea that you have? That it's like, look, I want it to be this certain way because it matches the market. Did you do research enough to show that that there's sustainability in that market?
Definitely in this, because we are selling, the project we have is 700-800 square feet, selling 500,000-600,000. I think definitely Malaysian can afford, especially the East Malaysian who had, I think they have they have money to buy all these things. So also there's a place that it can be staying there for retirement, because whenever I go there, the environment are different from what here. Because here we are staying the very hectic life and all this and that. So this is a place I think definitely can sell the house there.
Moving on to your earnings, we're looking at it for financial year 2013. Revenue came in at 533.5 million compared to 509.6 million the year previously. But of course, your bottom line has shown a jump because there's an extraordinary gain. So net profit for this year was 392.3 million. Last year was 37.2 million. But that, of course, includes the one-off gain that you have. The one-off gain that you have of 309 million. This was after the disposal of the interests in Lakewood Golf Club and Zhuhai Development Land. But what are the normalized levels that you see for profit?
As far as the Malaysian operation last year, the profit unaudited account is 48.5 million. So the company target the sales. When I don't talk about profit. Our sales growth for this year will be we try to target the sale for 1.1 billion. The company has set the sales growth means revenue growth.
Yeah.
For 25 to 30 years within the next 3 years.
25. So what's the
25%, 30%.
in the
next 3 years.
So what will drive that? What do you feel will drive you closer to that number?
I think you see LBS is have several projects. You look at LBS, we have project in KK, we have project in the Kodong Jaya coming up, and we have project in Klang Valley, and then we also have project coming up in Ipoh later on, not now, and then we have project in Batu Pahat, we have project in Tampoi. All this the Cameron Highlands as well. Everybody will contribute the earning to the group.
What are your unbilled sales at the moment?
691 million asset.
How fast do you realize these unbilled sales actually?
I think so within 1.5 years.
Within 1.5 years, that's your usual average.
Yes.
Well, okay, let's talk about the development that you have, or at least your project that you have in China. Zhuhai development is around that area. So what are the plans for China, for LBS?
Just for the information, LBS have 3 projects initially: golf, property, and racing circuit.
Yes.
Last year we had disposed the golf and property for Hong Kong, 1.65 billion.
Yes, that was
dollars.
That was the golf club and Zhuhai development land, correct?
So in the form of cash, the share, and fee note. Share means we have 225 million share. The share in Hong Kong listed, Zhuhai Holdings share. Indirectly, we are the second major shareholder in the listed company after the Zhuhai government own the share. So we are also involved in the development. So if they can do well, the share can go up. Then they gain to the group.
Why did you actually choose to do it in this way? I mean, why the disposal and sell back? Is it because it was a price that was too good to pass up?
Actually, because when we sell the project, we expect the development in China can bring more gain. So as such, we request maybe both sides agree to allow us to own the 225 million share. So if the development do well, of course there will be substantial gain, because in the Zhuhai Holding means we have the development in Zhuhai, they do well, then they can the share will go up. Go up means LBS will have a gain.
Yeah, but would you ever let it go if it goes up?
When the time comes, we consider it, because we also look into the possibility if here we need money, maybe we think of disposing this, but they want it too early to say, because this one the management will decide to all sort of consideration.
So what are the plans then for that area in China that you already have an interest in? What does it look like? Does it look like mixed development? Is it a tourist spot?
That one, just now I mentioned golf and property is mainly for the residential, and they have the bungalow, semi-D, and the condo. But LBS still have one last piece of land in Zhuhai, 264 acres racing circuit. There are 2 international racing circuits in China, Shanghai and Zhuhai. We had organized many races, Grand GP race, all sorts of races. So the management, we are thinking to plan it to be a tourist spot. Tourist spot means we can have 3 races per year. Then we have to create the tourist spot. Then we have the motor with the workshop, all sort of thing there. So, and part of the land will be converted to development. And that one belongs, every year has 60% development right there.
But what's the outlook, you think, for the China property market in that area? Because there's a fear, just like Iskandar, that there'll be oversupply. And not only that, maybe there's tightening measures on the part of the government.
Definitely the outlook for the Zhuhai, I don't talk about China, is good, because the bridge from Hong Kong to Zhuhai on the way construction, I think by 2017, the people can use the 29 km route from Hong Kong to Zhuhai. You know what's the difference between Zhuhai and Shenzhen? There are 2 of them. 2 of them are the special economic zone. And because this Shenzhen is next to this Hong Kong, they just go by car. The Shenzhen grew faster than the Zhuhai. Because Zhuhai had to go by ferry. by the ferry, mean the 70 minute from the Hong Kong. So with the bridge connected, definitely the property price in Zhuhai will go up.
So definitely you feel that that's going to be at least for that area. But
Yes.
how long do you think it takes?
Another few years' time, you can see. Now even the selling price, the land price, tender price, all go up in Zhuhai.
Well, let's bring it back home. It has become tough for the property market in Malaysia. There's a lot of tightening, new measures coming up. People are actually feeling a bit more pinch of the pockets. Is that not a concern for LBS? I mean, isn't there a fear that sales are going to be soft for property this year?
It's definitely affect the property market lah. RPGT, potential the GST will come, and of course the bank tightening is the main issue. So getting a purchaser very hard to get. But LBS will look all measures to counter it. Not say we are expert, but the way that we look at it, because our product mainly for the home buyer.
As in not so much the speculators.
Because most of our product are medium range. Of course we got medium high end. Most of them for medium range, people buy to stay.
But definitely is your strategy looking at more affordable housing, definitely medium probably to low, when all your bigger competitors are going medium to very, very high.
We have been in this market for so many years,
1960s, yes, correct.
We have been in this market like Bandar Sarjana Putra, BSP Sky Park. This is the first high-rise apartment in BSP, Bandar Sarjana Putra. We price it quite cheap, 400 over ringgit per square foot. And this is good for the people who wanted to small family, because each apartment we have we equipped with this. We have the all sort of facility like swimming pool, all sort of thing. Each apartment we give with 2 car park, 1,000 square feet for 3 room. I'm sure I think this one a lot of people buying. For those who want to buy, better buy this area. This.
Well, but aren't raw material costs a concern as well? I mean, looking at the other side of it, not only is demand under pressure, surely, the cost of doing business must be under pressure as well.
Yes, definitely the material really on the rise now, not wait for next year. Because was told by my contractor, some of the suppliers start writing letter to them, say they're asking for the increment allowed a certain period. That's why I always ask my contractor, you better expedite your construction, because the faster you complete is better for you. So for new project we launch, we always done the feasibility studies.
Including these sudden price hikes.
So we don't care about, we just allow for the profit margin to be high side. Say maybe 20, maybe 25. So we allow for few percent of profit will be taken out in future. This and this. That's why we always look at the facility study.
All right. So if that's the case, then what are your strategies then for overcoming a soft market?
Overall market.
As in like a soft property market, what were your strategies? You said you will try to mitigate it. Aside from, this, what else will you do to mitigate it?
I think so. Definitely our marketing team are doing their good job. And also they are doing promote the LBS in the market, because nowadays the buyers who wanted to buy a house, they want to know who is the developers. Then they also all sort of thing they find. They giving the relaxed term or short term marketing.
In honor of Earth Day, which is today, as a property developer, do you see more of your customers looking for green initiatives, or in raw cost material, do you see more green incentives actually coming in?
But not for them to see. But we will also provide, like Cameron Highlands, say everybody say green, but we have plant more trees. Even the requirement by we plant more trees, make it more livable. Like in the D Island, we have rainwater harvesting. We also have LED light. Not asked by the authority. We provide LED light, very lightening. This is the energy saving. So LBS also looking into other form of the building that can have the energy saving, this environment.
Well, today we've had with us on the Breakfast Grille Managing Director of LBS Bina Group Berhad, Dato Sri Lim Hock. Thank you very much, Dato Sri, for being on this morning.
Okay, thank you.
I am Nadia Hassan for BFM 89.9.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes. BFM 89.9.